Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing a plan with me video with you to show you how I plan my week each week. I am using an Erin Condren notebook. This is actually not a planner, but a notebook. I will link above the reason why I prefer to plan this way. And I also have my phone with me and my very favorite pen for this notebook, which is a Pilot V5 Precise pen in black. So this notebook is awesome. I just love it. There are a lot of different features in it that, there's like a dashboard in the front and there's stickers in the back, but really I just use each page. And I've been doing this since September. And each page is a day and I plan through a to-do list. And so I will show you throughout this video what that looks like. But here we are up to date when I'm filming this. It is Sunday, January 14th. And so I am planning for my week ahead. As you can see, I already have Monday written down, but I need to go ahead and get the rest of the days of the week written down. So what I do is I pull out my phone and I use my Google Calendar. And this is where I keep recurring events like Bible study or church or birthdays, things like that. And then also whenever I have appointments or things like that that I want to make sure that I'm going to remember because they are at a specific time, as appointments and meetings generally are, I do like to have those in my phone on my Google Calendar because that's synced across all of my devices. So I can access it from my laptop, from my desktop, from my iPad, from my cell phone. My husband and I both have a linked calendar. It's just really easy for me, and I like getting notifications that come up on my phone just to make sure that I am my head is in the right place, because you guys know how it is. Sometimes hours or days get away from you, and so this just helps me. So what I'm doing right now is for Monday, I'm just going through on my Google Calendar and putting down what all I need to get done. So it's like a couple of things related to content, and then I have like a Skype meeting, and so all of that is going on there. Then what I like to do is just across the top in that little gray bar, I go ahead and write down the days of the week for each day. Of course, you could just, if you were going to try this style of planning, you could just write like, 1, 16, 18. But I just, the act of writing out the full date, for some reason, I like that. So you can't see it in the frame, maybe a little bit off to the left, but I have my phone sitting there, and so I'm just marking down that I have like a chiropractor appointment, and for this particular appointment, I do need to remember to update my insurance with them, and so I'm making a note of that. This planner or notebook lives on my kind of like the higher section of the bar in my kitchen, and I leave it open to the day, and that black pen is just capped and lays on top of it, and it sits there 24/7. So it's really helpful to me because I can just go ahead and, in the morning it's what I check. Before I start my day, and it's usually after breakfast. I sit down at my kitchen table and I pull my planner over and I write down all of my day's to-dos. So things that I wouldn't put like now when I'm starting to plan out my week, like do a load of laundry or things like that, because those are things that I kind of am able to look at each day and decide what needs to get done and what I should wait, and that's why this style of planning works really well for me, because it's somewhat in advance, but or like for me, the important things are in advance, but the day-to-day things are not over-planned for me. It just works really well. So there I am on Wednesday, and I had written down a couple, it was the YouTube video I was going to publish, and that's already live now, and then I want to broadcast it. So now I'm moving on to Thursday. On this day of the week, I only have one event on my calendar, which is a Bible study in the evening. So even though we go every week, we've been going every week for 18 months, I'm not going to forget that we go every week. It is still helpful to me to just have that written down just as a way to structure my day. So because this is the only thing on Thursday, I can almost guarantee you that my to-do list on Thursday will be quite long. On days when I have less things and I can visually see that there are less to-dos or appointments or things like that that are pre-scheduled in my week, those are the days that I generally try to do a couple of loads of laundry, or I'll scrub down our bathrooms, or I'll do a deep clean of our kitchen, maybe I'll vacuum, those types of things. That on busier days where I have multiple meetings or appointments, that might not be possible. So that works out well. I also include little reminders that I can think of in advance. Like, for example, we were flying out, I'm filming this ahead of time, so we are flying out on Saturday at 6:15 a.m. and we're flying Southwest, where you have to check in 24 hours ahead of time. We did not purchase the early bird check-in, so I just made a note on that Friday that we do need to go ahead and check in on Friday morning for our Saturday morning flight. So that's helpful to me. Now here I am doing my weekends. I always do Saturday and Sunday together. It just works for me that way. I know some people really prefer to have Saturday and Sunday be separate, but I do like to have the two of them together in just one to-do list. I generally try to take it easy on one of the 2 days, depending on what's going on in our life and in our schedule. So if I'm able to really kind of just relax and veg on the couch and not do a whole bunch of chores and household duties on one of the days, it tends to be good for my mental health to just kind of take some time off and, take a nap and take a walk with my dog and my husband, that kind of thing. So when I am writing to-dos on my weekend sheet, I a lot of times will note which day of the week it's for. So on this one, it's kind of unique because we are flying out on Sunday morning, actually. So when I was filming this video, I wrote, no, I had it correct. So on Friday, I was reminding myself to set an alarm on Saturday morning, and then on Saturday morning, I needed to check in for our Sunday morning flight, if that makes sense. So I actually did have it correct. But so here I am, I'm just writing Saturday in parentheses, just so that I know what day of the week, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. I pretty much know, but I just do that for my own health and well-being. You can see this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I didn't have a whole bunch of to-dos. I really took it easy. Work is really slow for me right now. Etsy is really slow, and so I've had a lot of time this week to cook and grocery shop and clean. Our house looks great. I've done a lot of laundry, so I was really able to kind of rest, and I've just been creating content all weekend for while we're going to be away, so that's that. So now I'm just going back, and these are things that are not on my Google Calendar. These are things that I'm thinking that I need to get done. So I needed to text a friend about something, and then we're doing a Bible study right now at church with the women's. That's called Healed and Set Free, and it's a daily, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, personal study, and then on Sundays we come together to talk about it. So I'm just going in, and this is what I do when I have daily to-dos. I go in and write every day that that's something that I need to do. I am not the type of person that would typically forget that I need to do this because it's a daily to do. However, it does tend to help me because it just a visual. I'm very, very, very visual. And so for me to be able to see on a piece of paper that I need to go ahead and set aside, 30 or 45 minutes to go through my Healed and Set Free study, it just works for me. And I think that's why this style of planning just suits me. I love lists. I love crossing things off lists. I love that it's such a non-frills type of planner. There's nothing special about it. I don't have to add anything to it. I don't even have like a bookmark or anything like that. It's just literally a notebook, and I'm obsessed with these notebooks because the paper is so thick that I can use these pens, which are my most favorite pens, and they don't bleed through. I always, in my down bar, in every one of my YouTube videos, I have a $10 off Erin Condren gift certificate, so you just have to click on the link and create an account. So if you're interested in buying one of these notebooks, which are $20, you get to personalize the coil color, you get to personalize the design on the front, and you can put your name or anything else on the front. I seriously, I'm so obsessed with them. If you want $10 off, you can get it for $10 since they are $20 and I have a $10 off. So anyway, I won't say anything else about that, but people ask me all the time where I get them, how much it is, all these things. So it is in the down bar if you want to go ahead and grab that. So again, now I'm just going through and thinking through my week, and this ends up being just flipping back and forth, looking at days, and I just love, I can't say enough about how well this style of planning has worked for me because I'm able to really kind of load balance my week, and so I can think about the things that I need to get done, and instead of putting all of them on Monday, I can prioritize what needs to get done first, and then there are other things that I could totally do on Monday, but instead of overloading myself, I can balance that workload and I can shift some of those things to other days of the week. There are some things that I do every single day that I don't need to put on these lists, and sometimes I do if I'm having kind of a low motivation week, and sometimes I don't. Something I always do, or I more recently have begun to always do, is schedule in time slots for things that I am tired of working on, to be frank. So if there are things that I need to work on that feel really overwhelming, I will put, work on X for 1 hour, and then I will set a timer on my phone, literally set a timer for 1 hour, and that's what I will go and work on. And that just, again, tends to work really well for me because I feel it just motivates me, and then I'm able to cross that off. Whereas if I just wrote complete such and such, I would feel pretty discouraged because some of those things just take more than 1 day. So I'll kind of bounce again that load throughout the week and just write, work on it for 1 hour, work on it for 1 hour, all of that. So you got to do what works for you with planning, and this just has worked so well for me. So right now I'm writing Etsy stuff all throughout the week, and here I'm reminding myself to delete some of my attention-sucking apps off of my phone before our trip to Disney, just as a way to unplug and really enjoy that week away without working, and or at least without during the day working. I plan on bringing my laptop and answering questions at night, but right now I have push notifications for all that, and I just don't want to have that while I'm on my trip. So this is very typical. I decided not to speed it up so you could just see in real time. This takes me about 15 minutes. I think this video is going to be just about that long. And so here I am just clicking through every day of the week. I'm just thinking through once again if there's anything ahead of time that I can add, any to-dos that I need to remember to do. So here I am thinking, like, next week I need to remember to film a couple of things. So this week I need to remember to film a couple of things to go live next week while I'm away, and I won't be able to create content and edit it, and I don't want to be doing that while I'm on my trip. That's stuff that will get done later. So I'm reminding myself to film things and edit things during this week so that I have content not only for the week while we are away in Disney, but also to cover at least a couple of the days when we return, because, no one likes to have to get all that done right when you get home from a big trip, having to jump right back into work. So having some of that buffered for me, because I'm going to have plenty of Etsy and email and blogger mentorship stuff to do. So if I can just have my content set, that works for me. You're kind of getting a weird behind the scenes peek into the way my head works and like the way my content calendar works. But if that's interesting to you, my content calendar is all completely on my Google Calendar. It is purple if you care, but it is just like I have a separate calendar, and it's for all my content. And so I just have it set as an all-day event for each day that I have a piece of content going up. And so there's just like a purple bar across the top of those days that says the title of whatever I'm publishing, whether it's a blog post or a YouTube video. And so then I just am able to see visually on my calendar what content's coming, what's coming up, and then I'm also able to look, go ahead and put that into my planner here, just to make sure. I like to, since I create all my content on the computer, I like to have it on the computer like that, but then I do like to remind myself what's coming up that particular week, because I plan my content weeks ahead of time. I mean, right now I have several weeks planned out, and a lot of content created for the future, so it's just helpful to me to kind of know what's going on. So I don't have any to-dos for Sunday, as you can see, because Sunday we leave at 6:15 a.m. to go to Disney, so there won't be much getting done that day other than just kicking off a fun vacation. So I'm just flipping back through the week. This is, again, very typical. I kind of flip back and forth and just try to remind myself. But then because this notebook does live up on my counter with open, every morning, like I said, I will just add a whole bunch of to-dos to it. This is exactly how it looks on my counter, just flipped back like that. And I'll just go check it each morning, check it against my phone, and just add a whole bunch of to-dos to it, or just a couple of to-dos depending on the day. And that is how I plan my week. Thanks for watching.